Good morning. It's Tuesday. I'm going to give you a quick disclaimer. I'm having some internet issues, so if I freeze, I apologize in advance. This is Rise and Thrive, normally 9 a.m.-ish Central Time every Tuesday morning. Purpose of Rise and Thrive is to bring you positivity. I'm Trisha Turner, by the way, to bring you guys positivity, ways to help grow your business, grow your life, improve your life. And Rise and Thrive is based on the four principles that are most important in my life, that being faith, family, finances, and fitness. Without those four, I think you're missing something. So today I'm super excited because I'm bringing to you someone very near and dear to me and who is like instrumental in all things that we do in our business. Paul Simien, good morning.
Good morning, Trisha Turner. Thank you for finally having me on your podcast.
Paul gets to, of course, run the company with me, and it gets to watch and help with the podcast every week. And he doesn't usually like to get in the limelight, but you guys, we have an event coming up, and we're almost a week away from it. It's January 23rd, which is like less than 10 days away. Paul's actually going to be teaching at this event. And so I thought, man, what the hell? We got to get you on and talk about what you're going to be teaching about. So, Paul, tell us a little bit. Well, first of all, you guys, the event is called Time to Thrive because Paul and I have been wanting to do a big event for a couple of years now. We've been planning it, and then something will happen and we'll push it off. We're like, all right, we'll do it later. And later didn't come. But now we're like, you know what? We're doing it. We're doing it in 25 because we just came out of 2 freaking crappy ass years in real estate, and it's time for us to thrive. And so we are bringing to you 6 hours of content from people that have gone from nothing to billion-dollar businesses, people that have gone from nothing to over 250 homes a year using Instagram. We're going to show you going from a teacher to a investor. We're going to show you how to run a profitable team. We're going to show you how to build a brand. We're going to show you how to scale a team if that's what you want. We're going to show you how to build the biggest independent brokerage if that's what you want. And Paul is going to talk to you about what, Paul?
Well, I'm going to teach AI. The future of the world. So thank you, Trisha, for all that. Yeah. Pretty much when I joined the real estate space, I had just left the military, and my whole background, I was an engineer. I went into the military, and then I came into real estate. And I left from an industry that actually cared about the individual and wanted to train people. And the need for training people was to make sure that everybody grew together and nobody were left behind. So when I came into the real estate space, I quickly learned that this is a sales industry and everyone teaches people bits and pieces in order to kind of make more money off of them. And they never really teach, they give you items, but they never really teach you how to use them. I was born and raised Catholic, and I 100% believe in the Bible. And I believe where it states that if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. And so I've lived by that pretty much my entire life. So everything that I've ever done, I've always tried to bring everyone up with me and teach them to use the tools that they have at their fingertips in a different way that everyone else does. So getting into the real estate space with Trisha, it was mainly focused on basically helping her run a team and getting it organized. I created SOPs, created an actual process to the way that things run for the organization. And in that, I realized really quick that managing so many people requires a lot of overhead. It requires a lot of staff, and it requires a lot of efforts. So there was this wonderful thing that came along the way, which was known as artificial intelligence. And everyone was afraid of it, but I love technology. I actually love programming. So in college, one of my favorite classes was actually C++, learning computer language. And so when artificial intelligence came out, I said, well, okay, well, I'm not in the engineering world anymore, and nor did I use it when I got out of college. But this is an opportunity for me to kind of use the tools that I have in my brain to where I never lose them. So I immediately took to ChatGPT and learning how it worked and what it could do and its capabilities. So from that, I just really dug in, and every bump in the road, everything I came across, I wrote down. So I kept a log of everything that I did, and I found out what worked and what didn't work. And this was just me doing it for myself because I was trying to find ways to make our company more streamlined, to make the process run faster, to where we didn't have to really depend on 10 million people to get one thing accomplished. So I did that, and it was just internal. My friends that any of my friends that were interested to learn about how to use ChatGPT or any kind of artificial intelligence, I always taught them. I even saved one of my friends' jobs by teaching them how to use it. So as I speed up through the whole process, y'all know we spend most of our time on social media, and you get pitched ads left and right. You always get pitched ads for somebody selling some brand new real estate training that honestly is the same thing that you've been doing with just a different wrapper on it. And I saw that there was a lot of chat GPT trainings that were coming out, and people were charging people for prompts. And you've probably seen a lot of the ads telling people, well, if you pay this, you can get my whole prompt Bible and blah, blah, blah. And it's all these prompts that these people created. Now, I created from that. I didn't like it because it's basically people getting rich off of the backs of other people and not really showing them how to use the tools, because once you run out of their prompts, you don't know what to do next. And everyone is just using Chat GPT for to rewrite an email or to sound smart. So I created a training. I love writing manuals. That's my passion now. But I love writing manuals, and I love showing, like, guiding people along the way to where you think outside the box. So I created an actual training that I can give to people, and everyone can grow together instead of be dependent on each other. And since then, Trisha gave me a platform to go ahead and introduce it to the agents. That was my first experiment outside of my friends, and our agents took to it, and all of them, I believe, are better for it. They have embraced it. They have adapted to it, and they've used it to better their businesses. So from that, I pretty much refined the entire structure of my teaching, and I've made it better to where all can understand. And at this point, we've not only just presented it to the real estate space, we've also presented it to teachers in other industries that can use it and benefit from it. And I just plan on keep going forward with that by constantly teach people to fish instead of giving people fish. So when we come to the Improv Houston on the 23rd, just be ready for some fun-filled excitement. And I guarantee you, if you walk in that door with empty pockets, you're guaranteed to walk away wealthy. So just be ready, bring your brains. And if you want to bring your laptop and chat with me afterwards, you're more than welcome to.
Why is it, and you guys, like, he talks about his background, but he did intelligence in the Army as well. And so it wasn't that he was not just in the Army, but because I know people have been like, well, how do you transition from the Army to real estate, to running a real estate company? Well, he wasn't just in the Army. So that's like, and now, of course, he's been in the company for 3.5 years, working side by side with me, and we run the company together, and we have like grown it significantly and then shrunk it, grown it, shrunk it, grown it, shrunk it. In the last a little over a year, I would say probably, we have been laser focused on training and building our own training. We're the only ones that have the training that we have. We call it Thrive Week. And because if you look at the definition of thrive, that's what we should be doing. Like, no one's supposed to be living in scarcity. We're supposed to be thriving, right? Well, it's hard. This industry is hard. And as if you haven't figured out since COVID, things have been changing nonstop. And with NAR and AI and everything that's changed in the last 24 months, and no transactions and interest rates high, and like, when are they coming down? And oh my gosh, there's 70% of the agents not renewing their license. Holy crap. If you are paying attention to this, and even if you're not in the real estate world, you could be in insurance, you could be an accountant, you could be in any kind of sales, you could be in any kind of graphic design, anything like that, it's possible that your position becomes obsolete. Just saying, right? With artificial intelligence. So when Paul took to this, pretty much as soon as you heard about it, Paul, I am like the other end. I'm the visionary. I'm the one that was like, just wants to be out there talking to people. I don't want to look at anything to do with coding or checklists or anything to do with that kind of stuff. I have zero interest in it. But having to listen to Paul drill it into me constantly, I'm very much thankful for it and aware of, wow, this stuff is incredible once you actually learn how to use it and what the capabilities are. Paul, can you give a couple of examples without going deep into what you're going to be teaching on the 23rd? Can you give a couple of examples of how you've seen it replace people and how you've seen it enhance people's jobs?
All right. So I can say I had a good friend that I actually taught how to use ChatGPT, and from that he he learned how to use it for a silly reason. I mean, not necessarily a silly reason. He used it for probability and statistics. So he applied it to something interesting, and from that he found a passion for it, and he works for a very large company. And I want to say I pretty much trained him up I trained him up, and then he used it for about 6 months. They were all working from home at that point, and they were all going into the office once a week. And then it just so happened 6 months after he's been playing with it, he walked into the office, and they called all of the staff that were in his senior position into the office, and they asked them, were they who in the room was engaging with artificial intelligence or ChatGPT. Everyone that raised their hand were thanked and congratulated and were allowed to leave the room. And everyone that did not raise their hand were asked to stay. And the individuals that chose to stay, they were asked to stay in the room, were, if they had enough time in service or in their career, they were given a severance package. And if they did not, they were just politely terminated at that point. So a lot of people I say the minimal adoption of ChatGPT is from fear. So everyone thinks that it's this new thing that's going to take your job, but it's not necessarily. It can perform some duties, and it can excel to the point to where some things or some tasks that are done by people become obsolete. However, at the end of the day, it is artificial intelligence. It is in the beginning phases, and it still needs people to be somewhat of programmers or someone to oversee it. So if you're not learning how to basically get involved with it, then you will lose your job, because it will pass you up. But if you're embracing it and you're not really afraid of it, then you have the potential to excel. And I say coding, and a lot of people get nervous when I say coding, but y'all have to understand that ChatGPT is not it is ones and zeros at the core of it. However, the way that they've adapted or modified it is a complete, and I'll tell this at the course, I'll tell the exact names of it, but there's a certain way that it learns your speech, and it learns your grammar, and it learns the way that you type. And at that, from it, it takes that information and it translates it into JavaScript or Python or whatever computer language that you've studied. And so it just pretty much does it for you. So it makes that programmer um, uh, basically something obtainable by anybody and everybody that is interested in engaging in it. So I'm basically going to show you not a data in, data out way of processing it. I'm going to show you how to utilize your brain that ChatGPT is not going to take from you, but to utilize your brain to make your life better. The biggest thing that we all want is basically we want more money, we want more things, we want all that. But the one thing that we really should want in this world is time. So if you can get your time back while still making the same amount of money or more, that is where ChatGPT stands in, right? That's where it comes in. Where it could normally take you, 48 to I don't know, 48 to 57 hours to complete a task. If you teach it right, or if you educate it, then that godly long task turns into an hour or maybe 2 hours. And all you have to do is understand the way it communicates and then communicate back. And that's what I will show you. I'm not gonna come in there and tell y'all this is the exact prompt that you need to put in, and then you need to put this exactly this way for it to work. And stay tuned, because I'm going to give you more. I'm going to show you how to use your brain. And so it's fun.
I love that. You guys, so this event that we have coming up, again, it's going to be jam-packed with information. Like even last night, Paul was teaching, and Paul's been studying this stuff for years, since it came out, and he's been training people on it for about a year and a half now, and a lot of people. We train people in groups, again, because we have a training program. But even last night, just right here in our own office, he was training two people that belong to a nonprofit organization. And what was he training them on was how to better use, like he said, their mind, because they're at a stopping point where they can't seem to grow without additional help and additional resources and additional people, all of which usually takes money or knowing the right people. However, from what he taught them last night, they left after just spending an hour and a half to 2 hours with them, mind blown and so very thankful and full of joy that they could see something they hadn't seen before. And now they could see the capabilities of how they could do what they thought they couldn't do now, just with learning how to use artificial intelligence. So January 23rd at the Houston Improv, we're doing a free event. It isn't just for real estate agents. It's going to be geared a lot for real estate, of course, but we're opening it up to all. Seating is limited, I will tell you, because the seats are selling out super fast. Lunch is going to be served. It will start at 9 a.m. January 23rd is a Thursday, and you're going to go all the way to 3 p.m. Do you have to stay for the whole thing? No. Can you come in late? Sure. But again, if you come in late and you can't get a seat, that's on you. I'm going to tell you that you're going to learn everything about sales and growing your business, but you're going to learn, like Paul said, there is going to be a learning segment in the morning session, and there's going to be a learning segment in the afternoon session. We haven't posted the agenda yet, but Paul's on one of those sessions teaching, and it'll be an hour long on artificial intelligence, how to use it, and how to be able to grow your business or your life or whatever, your brain using artificial intelligence. Paul, final thoughts about our Time to Thrive event.
I will say that out of every, whenever we put on an event or we've ever put anything on, we've done it to see hope be rekindled in people's spirits. We're not necessarily doing an event for profit. I mean, granted, this is a business and everybody has to earn an income to stay afloat, however, but what fuels us, what makes us happy is to know that if you're struggling, if you're down on what you're doing, or you're confused about which way to go, if we can just give you a little guidance to help you along the way, to inspire you, to rekindle that fire, to get you excited about what you're doing and show you how to do it, instead of making instead of dangling carrots in front of your face, then we get fulfillment out of that. So we're looking forward to helping every single person here, and understand that anytime that Trisha Turner and Paul do an event, there is always a manual for you to walk away with. So everybody, if you attend, if you register at that website, timetothrive25.com, or the Eventbrite link, or if you see one of our million social media posts going out there, go ahead and register. Know that it comes with a free manual that's going to not only give you the steps that you need to take, but it's also going to point you in the right direction for you to better yourself and better your life. So if 2024 kicked your butt, let's let 25 make you thrive. All right.
Love it. Yeah. All right, you guys. So for one, just like Paul said, free tickets, timetothrive25.com. That is our landing page where you can go grab your tickets there. Seating is limited. It's also on Eventbrite. It is at the Houston Improv. It is January 23rd, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Make sure and grab your tickets and show up. Don't grab tickets and not come, because just keep in mind, if you do something like that, you're keeping somebody else that really wanted to go and learn from learning, because we're only going to do this big event every year, and we're going to do it every January, so that you got your mind is right, so that you're ready to thrive. So timetothrive25.com. I'm Trisha Turner. Paul Simien, thank you so much for doing this today. You guys, he's smart as crap. And if you want to learn how to really use your brain, make sure that you show up on January 23rd.
All right. We'll see y'all there.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Peace out.